Marvel Comics Editor-in-Chief, Cebulski. Thank you so much for coming here today.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Yes. So my first question.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You're Josh. She's Angelique.
Oh
I'm
my God,
Ryan.
hi.
We gotta.
You know what, Josh?
I
It's
apologize.
fine.
Welcome to Marvel.com.
Hey.
You want me to take over here?
I'm so excited.
I
I'm
guess
shaking because I'm
Stevie's in
meeting
charge.
CB.
Wait, Stevie is in charge. Never mind. Joking.
The horse blinders. So my very first question.
I like it up here. You can see so much.
It's our
really nice.
lovely treehouse in the
I know.
sky.
It is a treehouse.
Thanks for having me.
Always.
Josh,
you
go.
had a question.
Boom,
Go.
go. Editor-in-Chief is a huge, huge honor to have. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been 8 months.
Yep.
What does a day look like as the editor-in-chief?
I like to think I can plan my day, and once I get to the office, it just all kind of falls apart. Like, I used to judge my life, or by lists. I would make a list of everything I have to do in my day. As I would go through, I would cross everything off, and by the more things I got crossed off, that used to be how successful my day was, and I can't even do that anymore because there's some days where nothing gets crossed off. So I have to judge my productivity in so many different ways.
I think I've only been able to come into your office to talk to you or just say hi twice.
Yeah.
Usually you've got meetings or you're just like running around. And before it'd be like, oh, CB, I come
pop
sit
in,
down,
say
we
hello,
talk,
yep.
whatever.
Yep.
Nah, not anymore.
Now my day, I keep a kind of a weird hours. I get up around 8 a.m. This is a quick rundown of my day. So I get up around 8 a.m., check email, shower, play with the cat, get to the office maybe around 10. Catch up on everything in the office, and then my day just spirals out of control from there with different meetings and things that pop up. Who knows, what's going to happen in the books, and, it's a lot of fun stuff that goes on, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love every minute of it. There's this chaotic energy to everything that we do at Marvel, no matter where you work, because we love what we do, and we love these characters that we play with, so I love every minute of it, no matter what gets thrown at us. Yeah. And the Marvel editorial team is great, and we have such amazing support in producing the comics. And then, wrap up probably around like 7 or 8 o'clock. I keep the door open, and like you said, people can come in and talk, and they take advantage of that, which is great. I just want to keep an open, kind of cool vibe to everything up there. Get home around maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock, have dinner, watch TV, maybe watch a movie, play with the cat some more, and then around maybe 11, midnight, I work for about another 2 hours, because that's when a lot of our artists, either in Europe or Asia, are just getting up and getting their day started, and they might have some questions. Wow. And sleep for about 6 hours and do it all over again.
Gosh, it's nuts.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you mentioned that there are artists all around the world, and this is such a big, huge Marvel family. You're kind of the top. Like, what has been the highlight, I guess, of the last 8 months?
There's been so many. It's just being able to come in and get to know some of the creators, the newer creators that have come up that I really wasn't as familiar with, and making them feel like they're part of the Marvel family, and just some of the new titles that we've been putting out, I'm just super proud of. Deadpool with Scotty Young and Nick Klein, the new Fantastic Four book that's coming up with Sarah Kelly and Dan Slott, and just every of the new #1 books these last couple of weeks, especially Life of Captain Marvel #1 that just came out last week. Margie Stoll, Carlos Pacheco, Marguerite Sauvage. Just seeing these books come out that people are reading and responding to, it just, there's no better feeling in the world than that.
Yeah. So this is obviously your first Comic-Con.
Yes.
San Diego, the big major North American show, as Marvel Comics Editor-in-Chief.
Yes.
What's it been like?
It's been weird because more people recognize me now. Like, I like to be the behind-the-scenes guy. I was the talent manager for so long, and the artists knew me, and, I would go and walk around Artist Alley, and people would say hello, and, hey, can we, talk to you for a bit? But now I walk in, or I'm walking down the street, and people see me and go, hey, EIC, hey, it's the Marvel guy, congratulations. And it's just really weird, being a little bit more the center of attention, but that's the job I signed up for, and that's kind of the role that I'm playing, and I'm just going to have to learn to really embrace it.
Yeah. I know you have done tons of traveling. You lived around the world, different places, and I'm very happy to have you back in New York more full time, be able to see you, hang out with you. But what is that like for you to switch gears so much from this large international, like the way you think? I know you think very internationally, and now you're able to be home. How does that change the way you do business?
No, moving back was kind of funny because when I was offered the job, I had to, of course, speak with my wife. We were living in Shanghai, in China at the time. I was working for, expanding Marvel's business in Asia. And there was talk that we were supposed to move to Tokyo. And my wife was all excited, like, oh, we might be moving to Tokyo. And then I got offered this position. I said, hey, honey, We are going to be moving, but how's New York? There was the jaw drop, but we just got here. But it's been great. This is where our families are. This is where, so many of our friends are, the Marvel family, and it's great to be home. And love New York City. It's where my heart is. And it's, even though I grew up in Connecticut, I always felt I was a part of Marvel or New York City because of that's where the Marvel characters live. So when I was reading the comics, I was like, oh, I know where all these buildings kind of are. So. But yeah, it's great to be home, and especially to be back in the offices. That's why I used to love to travel and get on planes, and I find out now that I'm back home in the last 8 months, it's been a little bit harder because I hate having that separation from the office. I really like, the people that we work with, and I like going to work every day and hanging out with these folks.
Yeah.
Marvel is known for their unique story and storytelling. As the new editor-in-chief, what story do you want to tell?
Oh, geez, that's a great question. I want to just show, I want to take all my experiences as the talent manager and as the brand manager and kind of everything I've done globally and bring a lot more of that to the Marvel universe. I think the Marvel brand has grown and our comics are getting so much more exposure that I really want Marvel to have much more of an international feel in terms of our creators, but also in terms of our characters. We've always been at the forefront of that. And Marvel is the world outside your window and always reflecting the global kind of mentality that we see in the world around us. But I think having more local creators from different countries create new characters and bring them into the Marvel universe, that's kind of something that I really want to push for over the next 12 months.
And you've already been doing it. We see some of that happening, Chinese characters, there's been some great Korean characters, and that crosses over with games. It's really exciting times.
And that's what's great. It's not just bringing those characters in, but it's having not kind of limiting where they come from. We create stuff in the games that comes into the comics, create stuff in the comics that goes into the animation. There's such synergy between all the different creative forces that are at work at Marvel in different areas that it's truly like a great time to be a Marvel fan because you never know where something's going to come from or where you're going to see it first.
Yeah, and that's I think what I love about Marvel and what I definitely connected with is that it is an accurate depiction. Like it is a big family, it's diverse. You got multiple personalities, multiple characters, but also these storylines that folks just connect with personally in their lives. Is there like one story arc from when you were a kid, like obviously you loved Marvel for a very long time, that you could say was just like, you're like, oh, this is it. This is like my jam. This is my love. I would buy every copy of this particular issue or arc or character ever.
There's two-part answers to that question actually, because it's a great one. For me, I love the X-Men. So there's certain runs on the X-Men, be it Dark Phoenix Saga or Paul Smith and Chris Claremont's run with the Wedding of Wolverine. Certain things that I love that stick with me. But a comic that really affected me on a personal, emotional level was in Peter Parker Spider-Man. It was called The Kid Who Collected Spider-Man. It was about a young boy with cancer, and it was really harsh, kind of eye-opening stuff for younger readers that this stuff was going on in the world. It brought some realities of what it's being sick and themes about family and death and loss into comics through the eyes of Spider-Man. And I think those are when Marvel's at its best. And that's something that really affected me and really opened my eyes as a kid, because you figure, you've seen the superpowers, you've seen the costumes, but that was one where you really saw the human side. Like, these aren't stories about just Spider-Man or the Hulk or Captain America. These are stories about Peter Parker and Bruce Banner and Steve Rogers. So it's that human aspect of that issue that really brought it home for me, of seal that this is what makes Marvel great.
And talking about Spider-Man, we just revealed a new What If series where Spider-Man is the Punisher. How did that idea come to the forefront of someone's mind?
The What If line is something I've always loved, those kind of twists on the Marvel characters where they zigged one place, now we're going to zag. And that was an idea that Mark Basso came up with. He
One
said,
of our editors?
Yeah, editor Mark Basso, and he just said, Peter Parker has suffered a great loss. Uncle Ben died and Peter took his life in one direction. Frank Castle lost his family and he went another direction. What if it was reversed?
It fits so well. I never even thought of it.
No one did. And I was like, they had to have told that story before, And they're like, no, we never had. Just like another one, editor Darren Shan came and said, I want to do What If Flash Thompson became Spider-Man? And we had done a short 8-page story on that, but it was an anthology of all different characters that became Spider-Man. So this is one where we're going to really explore it with some of the original writers and go that direction.